What's going on, guys? So Connor back at you with another video. I've never really done a video based on this topic before, and it was kind of something that I thought would be really good to explain because I get a lot of questions about swing trading. And there's tons of ways to go about swing trading, right? We have, you know, our moving averages crossing over, is our MACD indicator showing a bullish sign? Are we getting shooting stars? Are we getting hammer candles that signify trend reversals? There is so much to know about swing trading that it simply cannot be covered in just one video, okay? But today I have chosen to show you how to use trend line drawing to spot support and resistances to allow you to enter into positions for swing trading. Okay? Some stocks work better than others, and there's tons of different patterns. Just a few off the top of my head. You have upward channels, downward channels, upward wedges, downward wedges, ascending triangles, descending triangles, and that's just a handful of them. There's many more. There are so many patterns to know that obviously you simply can't cover them in one video, but I'm going to show you how to draw trend lines right now. And I want to tell you that you must know that trends change. Let me repeat that. Trends change all the time. And I'm going to give you two trends that everybody probably has heard of or probably knows that have happened within the past 2 years. First one is Pokemon Go. Everybody knew of Pokemon Go. Everybody heard of the game. A ton of people started playing it. But as you know, Pokemon Go has kind of died down. It was a trend. It was a fad. It was here, then gone later. It's no longer relevant for the most part. The next one we have in everyday life is fidget spinners. Everybody's probably heard of a fidget spinner or seen a video of some kid playing with a fidget spinner. They're still kind of popular, but soon enough they're going to die down and they're no longer going to be a thing. Just like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon cards back in the day, they were trends. And as you know, trends change. So if you're going to use trend lines on charts, you have to be comfortable drawing them for one, but you have to stay up on the stock. Because, for example, if I were to draw this trend line right here, let's just say I went, and let me repeat, trend lines are drawn based on going from the tippy tops or kind of peaks or sell-off points of stocks, and they're drawn from going on their low points where they kind of bottom out or find support. So you go based on top resistances and bottom of supports and you draw trend lines. And now you'll start to form either a triangle pattern, a wedge pattern, or some type of pattern, okay? And that's where you get these patterns. And there's a different way to play each pattern. And so like I said, trends change all the time. So let me zoom in a little bit because really we're really only going to need this part of the chart for now. So based on this, we have our trend, right? We're going from all the high points. So originally our trend would have been like this. But once we sold up here, it kind of broke above this previous high. Our trend now is like this. So if you weren't following up on the stock and you didn't notice that the trend broke, your trend line is no longer valid. So you have to keep up on these stocks and you're constantly going to be updating your trend lines. Okay, so the trend line would now be like this. Where would your trend line go from now? Can you find it? Well, it would just keep going like this until the stock broke above that downward trend line. Once we get the breakthrough, which is right here, if you follow my cursor, the trend line is now no longer valid as is, and it now must be changed and moved up higher to meet its resistance points. So now the trend would be so. Now, if you keep drawing the trend line out, you'll notice that the stock is finding resistance on this trend line, okay? Now I'm going to zoom out, and we're going to go back, going from the low points. Your trend lines always match with low points. Sure, you could go from this peak, so you basically go from this peak to here. But once you keep going up, you'll notice that the stock broke through that trend, so your trend would now be here on its low point. Okay, we keep going further. That trend is now broken because the stock broke down below right here. If you follow my cursor, the stock broke down below that trend line. So that trend line would no longer be valid, and now your trend would go to here. Well, the stock broke below that trend line, so the trend line is no longer valid. The trend line would have to go to here. Aha! We have found a good support, and we have found a pattern that really is starting to work. And if you don't see it already, it goes just like that. Okay? So that would be your long term. There's a few you could draw. So that would be like a really, really long-term trend line. A shorter one would be right here. Okay, so that would just be pretty much a straight across trend line. This is like an upward trend line, obviously. So now you have a few trend lines drawn, and I think I made that pretty clear and pretty simple on how you can do that. And I'm going to try and make this video as quick as possible so I'm not boring anybody, or you don't lose your attention to it. So now that we have a few trend lines drawn, you can start to see that the stock is bouncing in between this trend line and this trend line. Okay, we're starting to get good swing trade opportunity or potentials within the stock. But you may be asking yourself at this point, although we have this upward resist or downward resistance trend line and this upward support trend line, we're still not accurate enough. And why is that? That might be not enough. So we'll zoom into here. That might not be enough to enter your swing trades. And why is that? Well, this upward support that I previously drew, it's pretty accurate, but it's not accurate enough because within just this channel itself, we're creating a new trend, a new short-term trend. This is a long-term and a long-term trend, another long-term trend. But there's a short-term trend that's happening within inside the channel. And that would be from here to the low point, to the low point, to the low point. And sure, they may not be 100% perfect, but this is damn near as best you're going to get. Just drawing trend lines, okay? I mean, they're not going to always be 100% accurate because if I go to the very bottom of this, we're not touching them. But if you go up a little higher, you're touching all of them, and that's what we're really looking for is a solid trend or trend line that's been drawn. So now you're starting to see the trend forming where the stock is finding its support based on trend lines. And this is how you can start to play swing trades just based on trend lines. There's more that goes into it, obviously, like buying pressure. Is volume picking up? Are we getting moving averages to cross over? I have a video on moving averages if you need to watch it. It's a really good one. So there's more that goes into it just other than trend lines, but trend and technical chart trend or analysis is a phenomenal way to learn how to enter into stocks. Why? Because so many people use trend lines. Everybody is looking at trends or looking at supports or looking at resistances. So that's just the whole psychological aspect of trading is that if you know which patterns to look for, if you know how to draw the trend lines, if you know where to find the supports, you know where to find the resistances, you are playing the same game as everybody else. I mean, like, why would I put on football pads to go play a game of soccer? That doesn't even make sense. Or, why would I bring, it doesn't make sense. Why would I bring a lacrosse stick to a basketball game? I'm not playing the same game as you, okay? If everybody's playing the same game and looking for the same things, you're just putting yourself in a better position to win, okay? So like I said, don't dress up in football pads and cleats and a helmet to go play soccer. You're going to look like a fool. So don't do that. Stick to the obvious, stick to what everybody else does, and you'll become profitable. So back to what I'm talking about. We got these trend lines, right? So we got our support, our upward support trend line. And as you notice, we're finding support and we're bouncing off. There is still another trend line to draw within this picture or within this channel, and that is from the high points within the channel, okay? So after we peaked out here and sold down and got our new high, this becomes a different trend line. And you'll get better at drawing them at times. So as you can see, we have a new trend. So we have this upward channel pattern / trend within a bigger picture or bigger trend. So if I zoom out, it'll become a little bit more obvious. And I think, that's fine. So we have this line here and this line here, which gives you kind of this wedge pattern. It's an upward wedge pattern. But with inside the wedge, we have this upward channel pattern. Okay? So as you can see, the reason the stock sold down here is because it just hit its resistance point, and now it came down and it found support and it went back up and now we hit resistance again, and we're coming back down. Now, the key thing to see happen on this stock would to see it come back down and hit support here. FYI, I'm planning on buying AMD as soon as it hits about $13 because I'm almost positive it's going to continue this trend where we see it come back down, find support, and shoot back up. Then my next target price, if we continue this trend line this way, my next target price is going to be right around the $14 area, and then I'll look at closing my position. But the ideal thing is to see this bounce off support, break through its long term. This is the long term. We're going to want to see it break through this long term downtrend resistance. We want to see it break through that, and now we want to see it to start following its channel pattern, because that means we're going to continue in this bullish direction, and we're going to continue this nice pattern. Okay, so instead of us following this downward resistance where it could eventually lead into a downtrend, we want to see it bounce off support here. Then we want to see it break through its long-term downtrend resistance that it's been having, and now we want to start seeing it follow this new pattern, this upward channel it's been forming for the past months. Okay, that would be the ideal setup, because then that means this downtrend line is no longer valid, and now we've run into an upward channel, and now we're strictly bullish, baby. That's what we really want to see. So if you want to know, I'm going to be swing trading AMD pretty soon here. Well, most likely, don't want to guarantee it, but probably. Okay, so that's how you can enter into positions. I didn't go into the swing trading aspect of it yet. So basically, here's your concept of swing trading. Now that you've seen this channel and you've seen how this price, or seen how this ticker, AMD, reacts within this channel, you can start playing the channel. You can start playing the pattern to enter your positions. I've swing traded this a couple times. I swing traded it back here. Once I seen it forming this pattern, or in the, staying in this channel, I entered off support here, and I was a little late. I was at about right here. I entered in. Next one, I entered in right here, and I rode it up till about 13, and then I got a little nervous and sold out, missed a little bit, but hey, it's okay. And I swing traded this move. Now this move, I did get out way early. I got out at about $13.50, and I missed it all the way up to another $14.50, but it is what it is. I just want to take my profits and run from that one, so no worries there. But that's how you can swing trade. Once you have this channel pattern, or you have some type of proven pattern which the stock is respecting, you can start playing the pattern. And it's simple as that. If you notice the stock is really high and it's high price and it's near its resistances, you don't want to buy. You want to wait till it corrects itself and find some type of floor, some type of support. Then you want to enter your position and you go long. Look at, we bottomed out, we went long. We bottomed out, we went long. So what do you think's happening here? Sure, we had a little bounce back here, but based on previous history, there's a strong chance this stock is coming right back down to test this upward support. I read a few comments on Facebook, and people were actually getting ready to buy AMD to go long on it, and I mentioned the comment there that it's probably a good time to wait just to see how it plays out, to see if it's going to continue downtrending, which is a strong probability that it will. Because if you look, even after this long downtrend, we had some green days where it started off green and then it continued down. So we have a nice green day here, some green action or green strong buying pressure here. But there's a strong chance it's going to continue downwards. And why do I say that? Well, even if you just look at the chart, based on previous, after a downtrend, we had some strong day, and then we went right back down, or right here. Right? For example, we came down, sold really hard, had some strong bounce there a little bit, but then we came right back down, and we got on that support, and then we ripped. We came down, bounced a little bit, went back down, then we ripped. We came all the way down this time. Well, not all the way down. Had a little mini bounce, crashed till we hit support, then we ripped. All the way up, crashed again. We had a bounce, chances are we're coming right back down to hit that support, and then we're going to run again. Your next area of resistance on your downtrend is right here at about $14.34, $14. It just depends on how long it takes for the stock to bounce back and reach that area. Like I said, it'll be ideal if we can finally break through this downtrend resistance and create a final new trend and work within this upward channel. That is going to be the ideal thing, and hopefully we see that happen. So I think we're going to cover it there and stop. I think that was a pretty good description. I made it pretty simple, pretty basic to understand just basically how you draw your trend lines, how you can use them to get in and out of positions for swing trading. So I was pretty happy with that. I think I'm pretty happy with that video. So comment and post and let me know what you guys think. I'm totally open to any positive criticism. Just let me know what you thought about drawing the trend lines. If you have any questions or what I could potentially do better to make the video more valuable to you or easier to understand for a future video. And as always, please like and comment or post or do whatever you feel is necessary. And always, as always, thank you for all the support and thank you for watching, guys. And until next time.